Good morning, lovely souls. How are you all doing today? I do hope you're well. Weather forecasters. Just putting it out there. Weather forecasters. I was mentioning this the other day. I don't know why it's been so wrong. It seems like all this year the weather forecasting has been absolutely poop. We've had a gorgeous, gorgeous run of weather. As you'll have seen from previous videos, boiling hot, bright, gorgeous sunshine out in the garden. And then yesterday we were supposed to have rain all day. Oh, and that thunderstorm, that didn't happen. Supposed to have rain all day yesterday, didn't happen. It's supposed to be clear today, so today I was supposed to be in the garden again. Looking out there, it's raining. And it's quite dark and grey again. I've pulled myself over here in front of the window instead of sitting in the corner over there. Hopefully there's enough light that this camera won't struggle. My goodness me, yeah. September is just proving to be, it's just going wonderfully well. I hope I haven't jinxed myself, touch wood. I think it's sort of been really serendipitous in a way. You know, when I was talking at the end of August, month 52 thoughts on, which was actually a few days into September, I realise, I know. And I said I'd made a few changes, including sort of reclaiming my Monday mornings and my, getting my Mondays back. So I had my first one of those already. And I think I mentioned, didn't I didn't set the alarm clock that morning. And it's just heavenly to wake up naturally without the alarm. I mean, I don't know how viable it is to do that every day because I think my body would like 12 hours sleep. But certainly it's shown me, you know what, once in a while, excuse me, sleep without the alarm clock. But anyway, that serendipity I'm talking about, it's sort of, you know, this summer's been quite tricky. And when I say summer, I mean the last 6 months. It's been really tricky. And, you know, getting the chicken pox, making decisions, great. And I come into September and just such beautiful, beautiful weather. I really, really loved it and appreciated it because I kind of feel like I've missed this summer. Certainly missed that kind of being in the garden in the summer. Just chilling, just being there, not actually necessarily doing any work, just sitting around, chatting with friends, what have you. So to get this gorgeous run of weather, to have time to sit in the garden, to have my little Prosecco session, that's been brilliant. And of course then combine that with my sister's visit, and that was so special. It just feels like this first week of September, I think it's now about the 10th or the 11th, but these first few days of September feel like this somehow kind of, it just feels like a reward. It feels like a reward for just hanging in there weeks and weeks and weeks on end. And suddenly I've had this time that's been really beautiful, relaxed, special. I mean, I've been working still. I've been working my backside off. I've still got quite a lot of catching up to do with quite a lot of stuff. But, you know, even like a couple of months ago, I was feeling so overwhelmed by everything. I just didn't know how everything was going to happen. And now I feel that sense of, okay, we're getting there. Slowly, slowly, catchy monkey. And I've noticed in the last a few days, I've been really, really productive, but I'm not running around like a headless chicken. I'm still doing really long days, but it's been fine, and I've been really enjoying my work. I mean, I kind of always do. It's like I'm kind of always at pains to say in these last 4.5 years, no matter how tough stuff has got, I'm still happier now than I ever have been. I'm still happier now than I ever was when I was slaving for someone else. Yeah, so it's all good. Yesterday was crazy busy, really, really, really busy. But again, somehow it's my attitude, it's the way I approach it. It was crazy busy, but it wasn't horrible. I got loads done. You can see over my shoulder there's some linens over there. I think I had the washing machine on 4 times yesterday. Some of it was for me, my own stuff, usually over there. Some of it was for shop stock. It was the perfect kind of day for photographing shop stock because it was light, but it wasn't bright sunshine, which I get real issues with shadows then. Oh, the oven was on. It must have been about 4 hours. The oven was on in the end as I was preserving batch after batch after batch of tomatoes. What else to do? I mean, it was just non-stop. Podding my sweet pea seeds, sorting through my broad bean seeds, which are dry now. Some of them were obviously a bit rubbish. Good ones sorted into jars. They've gone into the freezer, and I've made a note for myself on my pin board for 3 days' time to take them out of the freezer again. Just lots and lots of little things. It took all day and all evening, but it's good stuff to get done. Yeah, it just feels a bit different at the moment. It feels like maybe it's just the difference of having that 1 day a week back. I just feel less rushed. And you know what, maybe it's just the sunshine has done it to me. Maybe a few days of really good sunshine have just, they've kind of filled me up. They've recharged my battery, and now I feel superhuman again. Quite a bit to do in the garden still, but now the focus is on harvesting and clearing, really. I've already started to gather cardboard, so once the beds are empty, I can cover them with whatever I can lay my hands on, compost, leaves, grass clippings, whatever, and get them covered for the winter. In terms of the harvesting, that's what I was going to be doing today actually, was beans, picking beans. And because I thought it was going to be a nice day, I thought I'll pick all my beans and I'll pod them down at the shed. And whilst I'm podding them, I can turn the camera on and have a little chat and a catch up with you guys at the same time. That would be nice. But anyway, weather has different plans, so hopefully that will be in place for tomorrow. So yeah, lots to do in the garden, but it's all lovely stuff. And having broken down the list of jobs, I look at it and I think, yeah, I can get that done. I'm still doing a little bit of backwards and forwards to Auntie Teapots, but I'm hoping that that's all we'll soon have I'll have just finished everything. I'm hoping that by the end of October, I'll have wrapped everything up and that's all done. Great, that's going to be a weight lifted off my shoulders. The lease issue with my flat, I've paid for that now. I haven't had the final paperwork back. Oh, I must chase that up actually, because without that, that's what I need in order to sell my place. Folk have said to me, why don't I sell the flat now? Just sell it, you know, get on with the move. No, it's too soon. I've got too much else going on. Plus, there are a few issues that I need to sort out. Well, the kitchen, excuse me, I really want to repaint the kitchen. It's just really tired looking. It just gets so much use in there. I've got a few bits and bobs, little places where I need to do some patchwork on the plaster, where when the new roof was put on, when they were banging in the slates, I've just got little pops of where you've got your plasterboard where it gets nailed in, where those nails are, it's just popped the plaster off. So a few little holes to fill, maybe a bit more painting. There's a little snagging list for inside the flat, and I'm not in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry to sell. I mean, I'm not in a hurry, but it's definitely, it's going to happen in the next by this time next year, I want to be in my new place. But yeah, I'm not in a hurry. So because of that, I will take my time dealing with other stuff that I've got going on, keeping up everything else that I do. And in the meantime, I can sort all these little snagging things out, because why would I not want to present the flat in its best possible light? I don't want... I've got a really itchy nose today. I don't know why. I'm nowhere near any cats. Yeah, why would I, I don't want to give a prospective buyer, when they come and look, I don't want to give them any reason to kind of go, oh no, his work needs doing, I think I'll give it a miss. I think if I put it on the market today, it would still sell. However, I absolutely have to get top dollar for this place, top pound. So yeah, get on with all the jobs. Plus, there are two new building issues, one of which we're getting sorted on Monday. It's like a money pit at the moment. The entire soil stack out the back has to be replaced. It's just one of those things with old buildings. And I have been here for... I've been here, I'm trying to work out, how long have I lived here? 18 years, nearly 18 years. And, frankly, living in any property for 18 years, there are going to be occasions when, something needs replacing. It just happens, it's all happening this year. Imagine if I'd moved last year. Oh, hindsight's a glorious thing, isn't it? Yeah, so the soil stack, that is getting replaced on Monday, which means no getting rid of any wastewater on Monday, whether it's from the loo or the kitchen sink or the washing machine. Hence, I did the big mass of washing yesterday. And also, I'm really glad I got all the tomatoey stuff done, because I ended up with tons of bowls all over the kitchen with tomatoes at their various stages, and then of course the blender, because I always blitz them afterwards, and it took 2 washing up sessions to just deal with all the tomato. Anyway, soil stack Monday, and then the other thing is we've got this little damp problem. We think it's a slow leak from a pipe, so that needs to be explored and fixed. That's in hand. And that one of my neighbours is sorting out. This is one of the things I was sort of talking about in that thoughts on. When there are issues, I'm stupid, I'm my own worst enemy. If there's a problem, I'll go, I'll sort it, I'll look into it, and I spend hours and hours and hours dealing with problems. Whereas on this occasion, both the stack, I said that was for my neighbour at number 1 in the lower flat. I said, right, you need to deal with that. And the other problem, the other flat occupier is dealing with that. Because over these years, I've literally dealt with every problem in this building, and I'm done. I'm done with dealing with all the problems. Someone else can do it. And actually, you know what? They're doing it. Lesson learned. You don't always have to be the one who's the hero and racing to the rescue. God, it only took me a little while to learn that, didn't it? So yeah, the house move is, it's on the cards, but why rush it when I can give myself time to deal with other stuff, sort out all the little snagging things, what have you. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Now, I've had a bit of post bag I'd like to share with you, some thank yous to say. Isn't that a sweet little card? Look, it's I don't know if you get an idea of it. They're like, you can't actually, these are all little paper, they're all stuck on, from Vanessa. Thank you, lovely. And very kindly, Vanessa sent me a load of vintage handkerchiefs. Thank you, lovely. Which they've all been scrubbed within an inch of their life and pressed and pressed and pressed. Some of them will be going in the shop to sell as they are in little groupings. So pretty, so fine. Some of them, those of them that had marks, like rust marks are the bane of anyone who loves vintage linens. Some of them, I just couldn't get those rust marks out. So they've gone into my stash of damaged linens. I don't know why I did that. There are damaged linens. but they're all pieces I'm going to use eventually. I know, look, as we're coming into winter now, and you know, this is what's making me kind of excited and happy again, is in a couple of months I'll have all of our teapot stuff will be done and dusted. The garden will calm down massively. After the end of October, the garden will be, you know, once a week for harvesting and a little bit of maintenance, but that's it. I'm moving into the time now where I can actually get back on the sewing machine and get creative. So the damaged handkerchiefs have joined all my other damaged linens. I've got all sorts of ideas, but also I'm holding on to some of it. They're ideas for things I want to make to sell, but there's a whole lot of bits I'm hanging on to because when I do move, and I've mentioned this before, I'm going to need some sort of window dressings because I'll be on the ground floor. I don't have everyone looking in. But I'm not really into, you know, curtains and dark, and I don't really want to darken the place. So with a lot of these linens, which are quite fine, they're all in sort of white, mostly they're white, some of them a little bit ivory, what have you. I'm thinking about creating, if I've got enough, a big patchwork panel of them to use as a window dressing. So it gives me privacy during the daytime. Obviously, the minute I turn a light on, they'll be see-through, you'll be able to see. But during the daytime, they'll be giving me privacy, but allowing light to come through. And I just think it would be really pretty with all the different sort of bits of embroidery, lace. I mean, it would be a real mixture. So I'm not in a hurry yet to use any of those damaged linens to make stuff to sell, because I don't know how big my windows will be in my new home. So I'm hanging on to everything for now, pretty much. There's a few pieces which are quite thick and they wouldn't do for a window, so those I can start to get creative with. But yeah, a lot of the finer stuff. So Vanessa, excuse me, thank you so much. A load of those hankies which were a bit damaged, what have you, they will, I hope, form a window dressing in my new home. How great. Yay, thank you. Also, this was a gift ages ago, and normally with a gift from any of you, I'll write your name on it or I'll put a tag with it so I don't forget. I didn't write a name on it. Stupid. So I'm really sorry. Now, I showed you this it's a few months ago. I think, was it my birthday? I think it was my birthday, wasn't it? Now, Ethique, their little strapline is "Give up the bottle," the plastic bottle. It's a little set of little samples of solid bar products for the bathroom, as opposed to bottled stuff, which I've had a go now using. So I just wanted to sort of give it a quick review because so far I don't know anything about this company. I haven't had time to do any research, sorry. So I can't vouch for them, you know, right across that ethical board. You know, if you want to delve deeper into the ethics of a company, yeah, do your research. But in terms of, let's just take it at face value of products that don't have plastic packaging, they don't have the bottles. Really lovely. So there's a shampoo bar. I haven't used this yet though, because this is the one I normally use. Gorgeous colour, isn't it? Smells yummy too. I've been using this for years. This is from Lush. I can't remember the name of it. It's something like marine or maritime. It's got seaweed in it. I think it's the only shampoo bar they do that's this kind of ocean blue colour. Gorgeous. I have incredibly fine hair that's prone to being greasy. So look, I used to, when I was addicted to the bottle, wash my hair almost every day. You know, the next day, horrible. I found over the years with this, I only wash my hair a couple of times a week now. Brilliant. I really like it. It's expensive, but it lasts for ages. And zero packaging. I mean, you literally go into the shop, pick it up, pay for it and put it in your bag. And if you really want something to put it into before you put it into your bag to take home, they do a little paper bag. Fantastic. So I haven't tried the shampoo from this one. It also came with a conditioner bar, and I don't normally condition my hair. I just don't bother. However, I have tried this and it's been great, because at the moment my hair's quite long again. Well, I'm not going to let it down. When was the last, my last haircut was, I did it before Christmas, didn't I? I think I did it as part of my advent calendar last Christmas. So it is getting a bit long, and like I said, my hair is so fine. It's getting to the stage where now when I'm brushing it, it's really tangly. So I tried the conditioner bar. It worked really well. Just with my wet hair, the bar in my hand, just kind of stroked it three or four times, put the bar down, just sort of massaged it into the ends, rinsed it out. Lovely. Another one, this is a face cleanser. Lather it up like you would soap to wash your face. That was really nice. Now, again, I'm a very simple girl. I don't really use face products. I have a bar of soap, I wash my body with it, I wash my face with it. One bar of soap does everything. But I would say, if you like a separate product for your face, this was actually quite nice. And then this one that's in its wrapper, this is like a solid butter bar for moisturising with afterwards. Lovely, but disappeared really quickly. I used it once. That's and legs and arms. It's half the bar has gone. It's really lovely, but it went really quickly. So I think, for me, I'm happy with my solid shampoo. In terms of a body butter, I'm happy with my calendula balm that I make myself. But, just generally speaking, I think it's obvious that there are loads of lovely products you can get now for your beauty, your bath time, that do not involve any kind of packaging. Fab. Also, I've got a few bits and bobs. A lovely little card. This was from Maureen. Isn't that a pretty little card? Like, struggling, isn't it? It's just a little thank you she'd ordered something from my shop, and she was just saying it would arrive safely, and it's just a nice little chatty thank you. So Maureen, I really appreciated that. Thank you, lovely. Also, arriving in the post this morning, I've got it in a bowl. I'm not sure you'll be able to see, because I managed to burst the bottom of the packet as I took it out of the delivery box. It's a foot soak that can also be used as a bath soak, and it has come from Sarah, and yay, good on you, lovely. Let me just get all the bits and bobs together, put that back down a minute. It smells redonkulously good. It's a combination of Epsom salts and pink Himalayan salt, and Sarah was saying, it's packaged as a foot soak, but it will work in the bath. And the scent is rose and jasmine. It's quite a strong scent, but that's lovely, because I was thinking about this as I opened the box. The smell was just delicious, and I was thinking, it's funny, I don't really use scents at home very much. My calendula oil and balm, I don't scent them. One can with essential oils. I don't bother. I obviously don't use air fresheners, or even the plug-in ones. I've got my little oil burner over in the corner, but even that, I keep that really simple. Orange oil, bergamot, I like bergamot, the citrus fruit bergamot, not the flower that I've got in my herb bed, also known as bee balm. I like a bit of patchouli, a bit of geranium, but again, it's quite subtle. And usually for the bath, it's just plain Epsom salts, and then a nice lather up with a nice smelling soap, or if it's hair washing day, that. So it's a really nice change to have this really quite a strong It's quite a heady scent, but I think, oh, that's perfect for a long, oh, my knee just went wonky, a long bath. And what I love is, this is a new business that Sarah has started. It's called Lotus Flower Foot Care. I'll put her little linky thing underneath the video. Good on you, lovely. It's really scary and daunting to start a new business and to try and just get out there and do it on your own, and it, you know, it can take ages and ages for things to pick up and take off. I mean, here I am, it's nearly 4.5 years since I left nursing, and it's only just now that I'm starting to feel a bit more stable financially. I was singing this the other day, I was thinking, why am I so broke this year? Because I've been doing better sales in the shop, I've been, you know, doing better with my YouTube channel. Why am I so broke? But of course, how could I have forgotten? I've put thousands of pounds into this lease. So literally every penny I've had coming in has been siphoned off. So I've still been living as if, I mean, I literally pay my bills and that's it. No extras. A friend of mine recently said, oh, you should give yourself a treat. And I said, you know what the biggest treat for me is actually knowing that I've got a bit of a loan to pay back, but I think I'll be able to pay it back hopefully by Christmas. The biggest treat for me is knowing that despite the way I live, which, you know, it is pretty ratty frugal, I'm still able to deal with quite big stuff like paying for 2 lots of solicitors and all that. So yeah, I just wanted to say to Sarah, you know, good luck. It is scary. It will take, oh, not Sarah, sorry, Sam, I misread your name as or is it Sarah? Oh, your handwriting, you naughty girl. Is it Sam? Because on all the cards it just says Lotus Flower, it doesn't say your actual name. I'm so sorry if I've got that wrong now. Anyway, no, it's Sam. I beg your pardon, lovely. Yeah, good luck. Be patient. Be prepared to be super frugal in life for the next however long. Really, you're going to probably be going without so much stuff that you've been accustomed to, but it'll be worth it as you build your business and, you know, things get better. So yeah, I'll put that little link, go on over and have a little look at what she's up to. And she also included this sweet little key ring. Look, lotus flower. How sweet. Sam, I really appreciate that. Can't wait for my bath. What I also love though, there's a letter in it. You are a girl after my own heart. I loved this. Please note, the packaging peanuts are biodegradable. You know, they're the ones that you put in water and they dissolve. The tissue paper is reused. The box is new but reusable. Absolutely, I will use it when I send something from my shop to someone. Whoever gets that box for their packaging, they'll smell, And I didn't stick down the envelope so you can reuse it. Yay! I love that. I love it, love it, love it. So much luck and love for you with your new venture. Really exciting. Now, oh, be quick, Vivi. I've rattled on for ages. Talking of bath time treats, I can't wait for my bath tonight. Do you know what though? It's such a rank day. I talked about this in a video recently as well, didn't I? About how, you know, treats and luxuries, one of the biggest treats and luxuries to me is a daytime bath. Because daytime, we associate that with work, don't we? We should be working, work. So to take an hour out of your day in the middle of the day to just lie in a tub, oh, can you feel it? Oh yeah. Can't wait for my first bath in your soak, lovely. And while I'm in the bath, I could have a little bit of a read. Because when my sister came, she dropped off a few books for me. Actually, 2 of them are not my taste at all. A bit chick-litty, just not me. she said at the time, she gave them to me, she said, these may not be for you, they're real holiday reads. If you don't want them, charity shop. The other two, they're sitting on my shelf. One of them sounds like a really quite difficult read, emotionally difficult. She gave me all these books. She said, I do want that one back. It's obviously had a big impact on her. So I'm going to hold off reading that for now, because the way she was describing it, I was thinking, oh my goodness, this sounds really traumatic. I mean, it sounds excellent, but I don't think it's for reading at the moment when I'm in quite a buoyant, happy mood. Anyway, so she also bought a couple of magazines. Oh, before I talk about the magazines, no, I'll talk about the magazines first. The reason I'm talking about these and the whole bath thing is, I've found it really difficult in the last few months to find any time to read. But having had to think about it and thinking about what's been on my shelf and what I have read, I'm obviously more of a winter reader. It makes total sense, doesn't it? From March to October, it's garden, food production, food preservation. That's my thing for months on end. And as we get into the sort of May, June, July, August, normally, if I finished my work in the garden and it's sort of 6 or 7 o'clock, I don't want to come home and be distracted by things at home. I like to just sit in the garden. Okay, it didn't happen much this year, but that would be my normal thing. So yeah, I'm not much, I just don't find the time to read in the summer. That's okay. I shall enjoy getting back into reading over the winter. I have read something though which I'm going to share with you in a second. So I love the idea of these couple of magazines she's given to me. She has, I think she was saying she has both of them as a subscription, gift subscription to her from a friend. And I think if you're like me and you love to read but you don't have the time for it, and then you feel stressed by trying to make time, don't get stressed about reading. Magazines with articles to read in the bath, even if it's 10-15 minutes, to just have that joy of reading, escaping into someone else's world that they've created for us with their words. How wonderful. So I'm really looking forward to delving in. One of them I know already. It's a magazine called The Simple Things. They've been going, I think, about 4 or 5 years now. Weirdly, I don't know how it came about. I think it was, because it was before I had my YouTube channel. It was before I'd stopped work. But that's it. It was because I was blogging. So in the days before I had YouTube, for about 2 years, 2 and a bit years before I had my YouTube channel, I was blogging on my web. I still got my website, that's where my shop is and stuff, and it's where I put videos and things. But I don't write these days. Don't have time. That's another one I'd like to claw back. But I had been blogging, they're very sort of free-flowing thoughts. It may be something as simple as, when I open the gate to go into the garden, that heavy clunk of the gate triggers a load of words. So that was what my blog was all about. All those articles are still there. You just have to go backwards in time. It's under blog as opposed to anything else. So these lovely people, they got in touch. Someone had been reading my blog and really liked it. They got in touch and they sent me the first 3 issues, the very first 3 issues, brilliant, to have a look at. And I don't know if at the time, I think they wanted to take some photographs. Was it of my shed? I can't remember, it's so long ago now. I didn't follow it up. I was too busy. I was a full-time nurse. Days off were with Auntie Teapot. Any other days off with the garden. It was as much as I could do to get the blog written. So I didn't follow it up, but it's a really nice magazine. I say nice, I mean nice. And it's, okay, so the strapline is taking time to live well. So it's things like the countryside, camping, food, making food, sharing it with friends, simple crafts, kind of like sort of a glossy, beautifully presented version of my life. So that'd be lovely to tuck into. And like I say, I know the magazine already. I know I'm going to enjoy it. I think that one comes out monthly. Now, what I like about this next one is my sister was saying it only comes out quarterly. Is that what she said? So every 3 months. And I think that's a really nice idea with a journal that's got quite chunky pieces in it, because what you don't want, and I'm sure we've all experienced this from time to time, is when you have these subscriptions and next month's magazine, journal, however you want to call it, next month's turns up on your doormat before you've even read the last month. And then you suddenly feel pressure. It's that thing, I mean, about that stress and pressure of, oh, I've got to read it. I've got this subscription, so I've got to read it. Otherwise it's a waste. And then we put pressure on ourselves to do something which the whole idea was it was supposed to be a simple pleasure. And it stops being that because we race to read it. Anyway, so, as I say, this one is quarterly, and I think that's a lovely idea because that gives you 3 months to enjoy it. I've never heard of it. I was going to say I've never seen it on the shelves in the shops, but I don't go to shops, so it's called or is it and the strap line for this one is mindful being, mindful doing. I haven't looked in it yet at all, but for instance the articles for this month, let me see if I can show you as I'm speaking. Murals, musical and wild magic, a conscious home, I think I've got that, I hope so. Oh, room for improvement and room for learning, the power of play, I love that, exploring the in-between, lifting the spirit, flowers that heal, growing empathy, how to fail, interesting, maps for living. So there's some sort of, photographic stuff in there and short pieces, and then there are articles which are quite a bit longer. So if you think, and it even says that, I've just noticed, it says long read. So I think it looks like one of those things where I think, right, let's say I've got an hour to wait for something. I don't know. What would I be waiting an hour for? The washing to finish before I start ironing. I'm tired, I need to sit down. Let's have an hour to read an article. Or I'm having a bath. I'm only going to be in the bath 15-20 minutes. Find a shorter article. So I'm really looking forward to tucking into that. Like I said, I've never even heard of it before, but I like the idea of it, and I'll give it a go I'm not saying over the next couple of weeks. I've still got the article, the magazine over there, Positive News, that I still haven't tucked into. It's just not the time of year for it for me. But as and when I do, I'll come back to you and let you know what I think. I did, though, manage one read over the course of, crikey, middle of July. 6 weeks to read a little skinny book. It's the Monty and Sarah Don, The Jewel Garden. This was a present from Trisha. Thank you, Trisha. See, this is what I mean about normally, you see? Normally I keep a slip of paper, or I write someone's name on the gift, because I just think it's really important to thank someone by name. So I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry, Ethique, whoever you are. I love it. I wish I was saying your name out loud. Stop digressing, Vivi. Okay, Monty Don's The Jewel Garden. So, I think pretty much all of us are familiar with Monty from Gardener's World. I rarely see it. If I see one episode in the entire season, it's like, wow, miracle. If it was on at midnight, I would probably watch it. Probably still wouldn't, if I'm honest. It's just, anyway. But I think we're all familiar with him, and this book, it's called The Jewel Garden, subtitle, A Story of Despair and Redemption. So I think anyone who does watch Gardener's World and watches Monty, we all know what he means when he talks about the Jewel Garden. This has been a really interesting read for me. It's a book of two halves. The first half is, okay, easy to stop. The second half is a diary of making the Jewel Garden. It's sort of like a diary of a year, and it's both he and Sarah. It's both of their writings throughout. Great. Someone said to me recently, oh, he's such a poet when he writes. I disagree. I don't think he's a poet when he writes. I don't think he's any great literary writer. I'm not having a go. Love the guy to bits. But I don't think his writing is anything special at all. That second part, the Jewel Garden part, it's actually very mundane writing. It's almost like a list. Today we did this, today we did that. But that's fine. It's lovely, enjoyed it. The first half of the book is really different and a very different tone. And I've been thinking about this quite a bit in the last few days. There were times, actually, it really depressed me and I didn't want to read the book. But on reflection, I was thinking that was to do with my mindset and when I was reading it. Because that first part I read, I didn't read the whole first part. It happened in thirds just because of the timing of it. On 3 different railway train trips down to Auntie Teapot's. So each time I was on my way down there, I was reading a third of that first section. So it was my mindset because I was on my way to my great aunt's that I was already a bit heavy of heart. I don't know. But it talks about, it goes back in their life, right back to sort of the 80s, their jewellery business and how things went pear-shaped. I'm not giving anything away by saying that. I think it's kind of well known, well documented. I found it really heavy going. And I don't know that that's what I wanted to read. Maybe that's what it was. It's just not the right thing for me to read at that time. I'm glad I stuck with it though, because firstly, it's really interesting to find out how they've ended up at Longmeadow and to find out more about that. Now you see, here's the big slap in the face to myself. Here's my own prejudice. Because Monty's name is Montague, so in the UK that's quite a posh name. There's no two ways about it. You don't get many kids on the estate where I grew up called Montague, and if they did, they'd be beaten up every day. So it's a posh name. And obviously Monty speaks really well. So I had always assumed, and this is what I mean, it's showing my own prejudice and bad on me, that's why I say give myself a slap. I'd always assumed he came from money. Always assumed he had money. So I look at Longmeadow and I think, yeah, well, it's all right for you, isn't it? Because you've got a ton of cash, mate. I mean, that thought is only flickering and then it disappears because I don't care, frankly. I don't care about your money, Monty. Your garden is lovely. And I think what's lovely about him is it comes through the screen that he's just this beautifully quiet, serene soul. He feels very self-contained to me, very private. And it's almost like we're privileged to spend some time with him in his garden. And it's beautiful. And I love it. I love that. I love that quality in him. I don't know him in person, so I can't say. He might be an absolute git in real life. I doubt it very, very much, especially now having read it. So yeah, I had always assumed that he came from money and that he had money. So it was a real shocker to me to hear just how poor they've been and just what a huge struggle at times. You know, they've got their couple of little kids. They haven't got 2 pennies to rub together. Scary when you've got kids, when you've got a family as well. So I'm really glad, if for no other reason than to kind of discover that and to just wipe out all those years of prejudice I had. Not prejudice, because it didn't make me not like him. Assumptions. It wiped out all those assumptions I had. I never disliked him for thinking, oh, he's rich and posh. I would never dislike someone for that. A stupid reason to dislike someone. But I had made those assumptions and they just wiped out in a second. So yeah, I'm glad I read it for that reason. But no, I don't think it's particularly poetic. I think because the subject matter in the first half of the book, that whole sort of talking about emotions and really, really quite hard, deep depressions, that could come over as being poetic. But yeah, glad to have read it. It's already earmarked for someone else. So thank you so much, Trisha. It's already been asked for by someone else, by a friend, so it will move along to someone else and they can read and enjoy it and have all of their assumptions swept aside. Right, I've just caught, out the corner of my eye, I've just caught sight of the clock. Oh my goodness. Done it again. Yep. Anyway, okay, so it was a long one. I hope you had a cup of tea or something handy. But yeah, just nice to have a little catch up, to say thank you for some lovely post, sweet little cards. It's always gorgeous. Can't wait for my bath. Thank you for that, Sam. Remember the link. And Vanessa, by the way, that's the one with the little vintage handkerchiefs. It was ages ago. I think it's probably about a month ago, isn't it, Vanessa? That's all. Yeah, it's all happening, and it's a good time at the moment. And try to keep hold of this. Not try to keep hold of the feeling. We can't keep hold of our feelings, can we? We're going to feel what we're going to feel. But for me, it's sort of reflect on these first few days of September. What is it that's different to make it feel like this? And if it's something that I've actively done and changed, like not volunteering, yeah, good. Replicate it. Keep reproducing that because it's working. Obviously, there are things that I can't control, like the sunshine, although the sun's just coming out again now. Thank you. I can't control the sunshine and having summer feeling days. I can't control, when my sister's here, whatever. But definitely this month I'm going in a better direction. There are all sorts of little changes and tweaks. I'm always kind of tinkering and fiddling with my life, and some of them are obviously paying off, so I shall stick with them and see. Who knows, maybe I'll get to the end of the month and I'll be like, grumpy old foul-faced again. I doubt it. Anyway, right, stop waffling, Vivi. Say goodbye to the lovely people. Goodbye to the lovely people. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It's been a joy, as always. And yeah, go and enjoy a lovely, long, gorgeous, indulgent bath with a book. Or if you don't think you're going to manage a book, a really lovely journal. And the thing about these journals as well is, once you've read it and enjoyed it, pass it on. Because these things, unlike other types of journals, they aren't time specific. I mean, they may be slightly themed to the season. It may be that, with simple things, for instance, there are recipes and images of summer. But, they'll never go out of date. So just like with books, read it, enjoy it, pass it on, and let someone else have that enjoyment too. Alright, lovelies, I really am going to shut up now and say cheerio to you all. Please, until I see you next time, look after yourselves. Bye.